little bit of that crane server lag. Okay, no proxy. Good stuff. In the top left is the right Terran. It is Bunny. And in the bottom right as the... Oof. Almost dark blue. Blue Protoss. It is herO. He's got them skins. Put on someone's vision and I'll be right back. Oh, this is the sir, the... There we go. There we go. Okay. Be right back. Okay, what did I miss? Nothing? Good. Alrighty then. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Hopefully the observer I chose is fine. Okay, so there's a bit of a block, and the command center is a little awkward. Seems to be most of what I missed. Blink's on the way for herO. Seems to be the choice as long as you don't scout that it's a proxy. There's a Cyclone on the way. Should be pretty defensive. Reaper, have you scouted? No, you have not scouted. Kairos Junction, not great for Reapers, I suppose, but not bad for them either. Well, it is bad if you... There we go. That's what happens. So the block makes it kind of bad. The only other options you have is going up the ramp or over here, which is hard to get to. So being a bit in the dark never feels good. A Stargate is mostly something you don't have to worry about. It doesn't do nearly as much damage as it used to if it wasn't scouted. And then beyond that, you do have to worry about maybe a Stalker poke or Blink later on. So a bunker on a map like this especially is a good idea. And then there are some other builds you have to worry about. Such as, you know, oh, what the hell? No, this can't be on purpose. No. No, I refuse to believe that's on purpose. I think it's to fake out any potential observer that doesn't see. Or the Sin Phoenix or something. No. Stop it. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, I think it's just in case anything ran by, you could try and get a fake out. It's not a big interference with the rest of your build, probably. I mean, it's a 100 upgrade, is it? I don't think it, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a stop anybody. Because I'd be worried that it, like, literally stopped you from building other barracks. But I guess it was fine. So our Raven was all I popped out of there. Stim is on the way. A couple of... just a single Engineering Bay. Disruptors are on the way for herO. Not into Colossus. Not into Charge into TIE Templar. What? Rather into the Disruptors. So Bunny might be a little surprised by this. You don't see many Protoss, aside from M Cannon, go right into Disruptors. Maybe after a Colossus or two. And again, he has such limited information, there's nothing to even tell him to think about that, you know? Like, technically, for all he knows, there's 17 Phoenix somewhere. But obviously, a macro game's a good guess. So if you're going to guess from here on out, from this information, seeing a bunch of Stalkers at the front, I would have guessed, you know, going to Charge eventually and Storm. But again, not Disruptors. Seeing the Warp Prism speed might indicate it, but that's also when you see the Disruptors, so, like, not much is that really helpful. Gets a Marine and only a few SCVs, not even a few, just a couple SCVs. A good start for Bunny. And now he's going to use that Cyclone to push it away. Oh my god, I thought he was going to boost past it. Luckily he didn't. Whew. Okay, so Bunny's going to want to... he wants to do this drop real bad, but it seems like a bad idea. Tries to go for the snipe of the Raven, but it's pretty durable. So I might want to repair that to make sure it doesn't happen the second time around. herO has a lot of pylons around the map. I guess he doesn't have a ton of observers. Is that the problem? Yeah, only one observer, obviously no revelation to easy peasy snag the army. So with only one, this will cover the other side of your unseen map. Got a couple of adepts and probes and all that, I guess, around here as well. The Stalker's keeping tabs on the main army. That's the observer now scouting. The medevac did, in fact, get underway, finally over to the main base. There's a shield battery to help out, but there will have to be a warping of some type. Now, the Stalkers are already here. And instantly slap that down. It means that they're over here, though, trying to snipe any tanks, medevacs, or a Raven. Disruptors, though, are trying to do at least that to the tanks. Only giving off both Marines. Not really the greatest Disruptor shots. Bunny still looking strong against the style. Maybe include a Liberator, too, to really make this position quite powerful. But I brought this position up in TVZ. We now see it being abused in TVP. And there ain't no creep spread that you can push to try and help you out here. You just have to deal with it some other way. Disruptor off the top of the tank is not a bad idea, but because of the new Disruptor shooting way mechanic, they're not as easy to do on top of that. So one Disruptor even goes down, the other one doesn't one-shot tanks, and Bunny's push just might be too damn good. herO, I'm not too sure about using the Disruptors. They really didn't work out as a form of harassment, as a form of an opener. And they didn't really help out when it came to defending against this tank push. I'm not sure that Zealots would have been any better, to be clear. They still would have had to wrap around this awkward rock ravine, whatever. It's a tough hold, and fortunately herO doesn't look like he's going to have it. He does jump on top of the tanks from behind, but not close enough to them. He still gets blasted away without taking them down faster. The Colossus pops out, and if herO had all of his army together, maybe he could have recovered with a strong hold. It would have been 2 bases to 2. But now that he's given away most of his Stalkers, he's currently being sieged up on his natural. A lot of his probes also not mining. I don't think it's going to be good enough. Colossus are going to be good with whatever's left over, but... Okay, now we're back down to 2 tanks. We also have Liberators and Marauders, so if it was only the Marines left, then I could see something there. Not so. Stalkers tried to jump into the main base, but there's not much they could do. There weren't even that many of them to begin with, so just being warped back home. Probably a better option. Disruptors get blown apart, whether it was by the tanks, focus fire, or the Liberators. They didn't even get a shot off. And look what he did. Colossus go down, and herO is definitely dead in this game. Bunny was just too good a push. Using the map a little too good. herO maybe trying something out that he doesn't usually do with the Disruptors. Didn't look that fantastic. Not sure what he's waiting for. There's a tap out. Bunny will survive for another game in the lower bracket. This is elimination time. Whoever loses this is out and will have to try on their own server, of which they have 2 chances to do that. Any Koreans that have played in the other non-Korean server qualifiers are trying to up their chance. More power to them. Innovation, Mario, and Patience don't even have to worry about their Korean server qualifiers. But They already have their chances up to make it through because they have 2 qualifiers. 1 for NA, 1 for EU, 2 for Korea. I think the most useless upgrade in the game goes to transformation servos. Nah, I disagree. Definitely disagree. We literally saw the most useless upgrade in the game right then and there. Medevac boost is just not gotten. It used to be Neo Slow frames, and now it's included in building armor? Or high staccato tracking. Either one. Transformation servos is actually quite useful. I had to make myself some tea with honey because my throat hurts. Oh, lordy. Oops. What? No. Bunny, why did you let Stasis through? I blame Bunny for this. herO goes for Tempest Rushes. He beat TY in the first day of the NA server qualifier on this map with that. I think he'll do it again here. Maybe Bunny has some plan. He'll master plan to abuse Stasis to let it through. But he had 2 vetoes. The best of 3, you get 2 vetoes each. Why let this one through? I don't know. I don't know. The Bunny is up 1, and he is in the top right as the Red Terran. In the top left, as the Blue Protoss, it is herO. Some people not a fan of herO's opener. I mean, it didn't work out, so we can all look smart and say, like, obviously it wouldn't work out because it didn't in that specific game, but I don't think it's necessarily a terrible opener. I'm not sure it was the right call on that map. I mean, there's got to be a reason he did it, and it could be that he has some success with dealing with that same push on that map. I mean, it's got to be a common enough push, right? It also might be because he's faced many other Terran pushes. You know, we've seen Innovation and Maru do some really aggressive in-your-face pushes right to the natural. And Disruptors kind of mess that up because it's mostly about clumping your units, getting them sieged up, trying to get a bunker up, that type of thing. And Disruptors might do well against that. But what for Bunny was doing, which is a 2-base all-in, like, it was quite committed. It's the reason why it was so powerful. Abusing that bend. I don't know if Disruptors are really what you want to do against that. Protoss can feel free to tell me I'm wrong. Well, when Disruptor Trap doesn't do anything at all in the beginning, I already am a little suspicious. I think Disruptors can be weird enough that they throw people off, especially in a very typical macro game. But when they're going for, like, this direct push and they're allowed on the other side of the map and already sieged up and ready to go, that's when I'm like, oh, Disruptors? Yeah. Having a couple Colossus earlier probably would have been a lot better. Bunny once again forced to put this command center off position, but it looks like he really doesn't care about it. He'd rather get it started immediately, turn into an orbital immediately, than, you know, play around with the probe. There was an SCV scout, in case herO was doing anything too cheesy, but this Reaper scout's going to be the one that Bunny depends on to see if it's the Tempest Rush or not. Seeing a Stargate when so many other Protosses seem to be going for Blink, as long as it's not a proxied game, should be a bit of a heads up. Just a bit of like, okay, well, you could do this. If it was a Robo or a Twilight Council, I don't think it's as much of an option. But Stargate first, it could be a macro game. It could. I'm gonna guess herO's gonna do the Tempest thing again. Most useless upgrade is a Speed Observer one. Yeah, that's a really weird upgrade, because you would think you would get it versus, like, Lurker play, but funnily enough, they're, like, too fast, and they go too far forward. So, there could be a case for that being the most useless upgrade. Oracle is on the way to start things off looking nice and normal, but I really just doubt that it's normal. I really, truly believe that herO will slap down a Fleet Beacon. Fleet Bacon! Fleet Bacon! Alright, maybe soon. Maybe not. Maybe he thinks it's not that great of a build, and he just kind of, like, styled on TY, because TY is TY? I don't know. TY was kind of doing what everyone else has been doing, so that's not really a reason. Maybe he knows that Bunny knows. You know that I know that you know that I know. And Bunny has been able to deal with it before. Or maybe this isn't just the time that he does a Fleet Beak, and I didn't pay that much attention to the build order when I saw it. That is a second Oracle, and the Phoenix popping out afterwards. Bunny's currently keeping tabs on how fast that third base goes down, which can be a really strong tell. Okay, there's Fleet Beacon. You know, off a Stargate opener, Protoss, there's a time where they even getting 330 Nexus. You guys remember that? How BS that looked? Now it's more like 4 to 430 Nexus, I guess, and it's getting around that time where if they're not getting a third base, you need to start wondering what else they're slapping down. And in this case, it is a Fleet Beacon, with a simple extra gateway added on. Not even 2 extra gateways, just the 1. So Bunny's gonna want to scout this. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure how you deal with it. It's still somewhat of a... I don't even want to use the word new, but the Tempests are new, so it is kind of a new build. The Tempests are changed. But there is other maps. There are other maps. Oh, God. Oh, lordy. Was it Dawson Station? Was that what it was called? The really, really short map? Where Tempest rushes could happen. And there were certainly better ways to defend against it once you realized they were doing it. If you tried to auto-defend against Tempest and they didn't end up going Tempest, you were in a bit of a rough spot, because it included going for, like, reactored Vikings really fast. But the first step is prevention, right, guys? I guess in case of StarCraft 2, prevention would be literally killing them before they get there, so I guess that's not possible anymore. But the next step is knowledge? I don't know. I don't know what step program I'm talking about, but... he does really need to find out that it's Tempests. I know that much. And unfortunately, he just does not know. So, when we saw this same build, in the same positions, versus TY on this map, TY was doing a bit of an all-in build. Like, if it wasn't Tempest, maybe he could have macroed out of it, or maybe he just simply won with it, to be honest. There's been a lot of tank pushes, tank Raven pushes, the like. Against a more normal build, where the person just goes into stim and combat shields and a third CC, I feel like you could maybe try and avoid the Tempest and still do damage. But as weird as Stasis is for its map and how far away you are from your natural to your ramp, from your natural to your third... Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? I'm thinking here I didn't have that hotkey. That should have been an easy pullback with how fast Tempests are. That was really weird. So he's down 1 Tempest, but that Stasis trap was gorgeous. But here's what I was trying to talk about before that awkward Tempest was sniped, is that you might be able to run around them. And then I was trying to give credit to Stasis for maybe having some semblance of protection around your 3 bases, because there's a choke over here and whatever, but you're actually on the low ground, so it's not even really defense. But anyways, the point was, can he get Medivacs in here? And he does. There's this weird air blocker thing that's the very, very top, so it's really hard to get out once you've committed. And unfortunately, Bunny was mostly committing with 1 attack. Finally, his attack over here. This is what I wanted to see from Bunny. If this wasn't happening, then that's a complete loss in the main, but as it is, this isn't even that much of a pickup. The third Nexus was not target fired when it seems like it definitely could have been. Bunny just simply leaves, doesn't want to lose that many units that fast. herO now going up to 4 Tempest with an upgrade on the way. Charge is done. He'll eventually add on, I guess, all those charge lots. He does have the gateways, just needs to actually use them. Also needs to get his workers way up there. How many has he lost in so far? 20 workers so far to everything Bunny has done. So he's really not in the prime position he was hoping for. Ideally, he's making 1 Tempest at a time, as well as a large ground army. That is scary enough. Now it's a bit of a, pick and choose. He does have a decent amount of gas, so Templar Archives is still going to be thrown down, and he is going to probably put some chrono into the probes and take up that third base. But Bunny's seeing that there was no probes there is probably a good sign, even though, again, he probably could have sniped it. Compared to his own third CC, which is currently being saturated, actually making SCVs, which seems to be an important point to note nowadays. He did go for a second starport, which he can definitely afford with all the barracks production because he has that third CC. Quadruple Vikings at a time to deal with the Tempest. And while Tempests are speedy, they die quicker, and their acceleration still isn't that fantastic. So once they've committed to a shot, the Vikings should be getting a lot of damage done on them. Storm could change things up. It's a very powerful combination with the air army. That's usually what makes the air army frustrating. You give me a pure carrier Tempest army, it's still going to be annoying as hell, but I think I could take care of it. You give me that, plus Charge Lots, plus Colossus, plus Storm, and I'm like, well, I guess I die. Thanks. I hate it. So we'll see if that can save him. I mean, the Tempests are speedy, but you really gotta be careful with them. Really, 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 really gotta be careful. The Storm should be used offensively, but I can see a world where herO tries to be like, you know, puff up his feathers and try and be more threatening than he really is. Because he's still recovering from the loss of so many probes earlier on. And here's him puffing up his feathers against a human that just laughs at him and goes, I can pretty much still kill you and eat you. Storm isn't even done. It is now, though, so the Vikings are getting a little overeager. There's only 2 Tempests left. It's more about the ground army surviving anyways. So once the ground army defeats herO's ground army, that Tempest would have been dead regardless. Vikings can land to help out, but they're currently... Okay, there we go. Now they're landing. Bunny was focusing so much on the micro of his units, of his ground units, against how many storms was that? That was like 6 storms right there. It took a little while, but eventually gets to it, and his ground army mostly survives. Stasis Trap has popped a couple Marauders, but that will not help enough, and herO's little shenanigans on Stasis will not work out against Bunny. Looking too strong here. Fortunately, herO will have to try his luck at the Korean server qualifiers, which is almost guaranteed to be harder, even though there's been a lot of Korean sign up for every single tournament. Till the end, I suppose. Till the end. Bunny's, like, quote-unquote, running out of units, but he's going off the 4 bases, and he's just rallying everything forward, even building more Vikings, as herO desperately tries to rely on this Tempest. But herO's down to 54 supply to 127. GG. Bunny, 2 zeros. The pro